Look at this, sold out, sold out. You can get the Pico microcontroller, the only three in stock, sold out. Raspberry Pi 400, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. Zero in stock. Huge price increases on Amazon. A lot of times you can't even find one. Look, you can't even find a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. What's going on here? The Raspberry Pi, many things you could do with it, and there's are other single board computers, and there is a chip shortage, as we all know. So that's definitely playing a big role in all of this. But I plan to make a video about a Raspberry Pi shopping guide for the holidays. And what I found is you could barely find any boards to build your own Raspberry Pi. You're paying a premium right now, which isn't too bad considering how cheap they are to start. But a lot of people watch my channel to see retro gaming and turn it into a emulation device or a streaming device. I mean, it is a cool little computer that you can hook up to a bar top, like an arcade. You could hook it to your TV or just have it in your gaming room, whatever, hooked up to a small monitor. And there's even setups you could do with coaxial cables and things to get it to run, those old 16-bit games to make them look more original. So that being said, what I'd like to do in this video is go ahead and share with you where you might want to buy, and let's look at these prices really quick. I find them very interesting, and what boards are available, what boards are not, and what we might expect moving forward. So as you saw in the beginning of the video, Micro Centers, I'm in California, here in the United States, it's a go-to place because you can often, get the boards for their actual suggested retail price, which is, 25, 35 bucks. You have companies like Adafruit who also will charge their base prices, but you have to pay shipping. Oftentimes it's $8 to $15, maybe even $20 sometimes, which when you think about it, adds like a 25% increase or more to the price of one of these. And so that's why I usually like Amazon or Micro Center if possible, or something local. And obviously, depending on where you are in the world, you might be able to get them locally. I've even heard that, in Europe, there's some Raspberry Pi pop-up shops and retail stores where you can walk in and all they sell is Raspberry Pi stuff. And there, I'm sure you can find a board right now. I'm sure you can make a killing just buying these and reselling them. But here we are on Adafruit. Look, the only one they have in stock is is the Pi camera. Out of stock, 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 out of stock. I did come across the Pi Zero 2 was the new board we got this year from Raspberry Pi, and this would be a great little emulation device. I mean, I'd rather go with the Raspberry Pi 4 myself, but for the price and the form factor, it's very good. But when you used to be able to order this on your cart, but when you go to order it, you'll notice that the shipping on this is it was like $15, right, to ship to me. So it's like, yeah, 15 is what it should cost. But then when you add the extra 15, it's now 30. So when you search Raspberry Pi on Amazon, a lot of what you get is Vilros and Canikit. So we'll look at those. You get somebody trying to sell preloaded images here, and then a bunch of accessories. So the biggest one that shocked me the most was Vilros. One, it's not even available to ship right now. They're waiting, you're going to wait a month. On top of that, the price went from $82 to $124. That is quite a markup, over 50% increase. Now the Canikit, again, they were already expensive, right? So the same thing from Canikit, which is a 128 gigabyte SD card. It's a similar price because you get an SD card for 20 bucks, right? So it's literally in the same ball game than this one. I mean, yes, very, very similar. And this went up $10. The 8 gigabyte model went up 20 bucks in the last couple of months as far as the supply chain. This one you can't get till the end of the year. This one you might be able to get before the end of the year. So it is in stock. Whew. So there you go. If you're going to buy, there you go. I wanted to make this video to see if you could build it for under $100, right? Have like a Raspberry Pi 4 would be ideal, but maybe Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, which is good, or even the new Raspberry Pi Zero 2W. I mean, look at this Raspberry Pi 2W, $48.99 compared to potentially $15. Plus, this one's $15 shipping, so it's really $30. But still, on a $15 board, you're doubling it or you're tripling the price that it should have been, which is really ridiculous. I'm sure this is opening up a lot of doors to scalpers and resellers, so try not to fall victim to that. This was that preloaded SD card I saw earlier in the search results. Don't do this, people. Just buy your own SD card. Speaking of SD cards, you search the Samsung Evo Select is my go-to. So let's just say 128. They're out of the old generation, new gen, under 20 bucks, right? Even on sale, $16, right? So you got to buy the Pi, you got to buy the micro SD card, and Amazon Basics is another really good one. These are really fast cards as well, a little bit pricier, but they do go on sale sometimes. And then the last thing you need is a controller. So the cheapest controller out there is going to be an SNES style controller. You got the Hyperskin Scout. There is a USB version, I'm pretty sure. But there's iNex. There's these cheap little ones here. They're not great. iNex is a brand you'll often see. You got the Retro Flag one for 17, not bad. If you want something really basic. Otherwise, my favorite go-to is the Xbox 360 controller. And it's always better if you go with a Microsoft brand. It's a little pricier than some of these, Chinese ripoffs, but under 20 bucks, for one of those. And this gives you the analog sticks, pretty much every game you can possibly play. And then my upgrade picks are going to be, obviously 8-bit dough, Pro 2. Might as well get the Pro 2 instead of the Pro 1 because that's the latest and greatest. $40 or $50 for Bluetooth. You can use it with a cell phone. You get all that stuff. The Logitech is a good alternative as well. The F310. A lot of people complain that the bumpers expire every once in a while. The F710 for 30 is good. This has a rumble pack in it. It has the dongle. Pretty good value right there, in my opinion. Some configuring you got to do, but that's pretty decent deal there. And then my other is the Game Sir controllers. A lot of portable controllers here, but here you go, the T4 Pro for 30, not bad. And you can get a wired version of this for even cheaper. The G3S, another really good one. So there you go. Adding the controllers, like I said, you get SNES controllers, under 20 bucks. Xbox 360 under 20 bucks. You're talking under 20 bucks for the micro SD card, right? So you're talking $40 for that stuff. And now all you got to do is be able to get a Pi, a power supply, and an HDMI cable for under 100 bucks, for under 60 bucks, and then you're rocking and rolling, which you could have done back in the day when you could have went to Micro Center. You could have done this for 55. You had the 40 on the other stuff, and then a $5 power supply. You would have been good. Most of you have an HDMI cable. HDMI cable, $1, right? So you're right in that $100 mark. If you went with the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, you're way under 100 bucks, right? 40 for the controller, SD card, 35, you're at 75 bucks. And then power and HDMI, let's say 10 bucks extra. 45 plus 40, 85 bucks. So there you have it. That's the situation we're in right now. If you're gift giving, what are your alternatives? You kind of got to go with the can kit. You could check the secondary market. You go on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Just be careful. Make sure you test the product first. Make sure nobody's, scamming you. I've actually purchased a Raspberry Pi where like the ports weren't working. The USB ports were like there's something wrong with the connection. So you just never know what you're getting. So keep that in mind. That it's a little less secure, no refund, things like that. So that's all I got. I'm sure somebody has an interesting idea. And again, this is all Raspberry Pi focused. There's other single board computers out there like the Tinker Board or like the Orange Pi, Banana Pi, and the Odroid, which is a really nice alternative as well. But my thinking is those are going to be sold out as well. Yeah, look at that huge price increase. XU4 $100. Yeah, $70 up to $100. So that's the shortage we're living in right now. All right, that's it. That's what I think. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.